Bubba, you guys are number one right now in special teams efficiency. What do you make of that, and where are some ways that you can get better as good as you've been so far?
I think we need to improve in the return game. You know, we're missing a few opportunities, and we're close. We're definitely close. Last year, whenever I was with, my old team, we started out a little slow too, and then we ramped it up. The second half of the season, ended up leading the league in kick return. So, I'm excited about our group moving forward, and we're definitely close on those units.
How do you improve that? Is it something technical? Is it just?
I think it honestly comes down to just having, time on task, repetition, in-game repetition. We didn't see a lot of those opportunities with the same group in the preseason. So I think that once you have that unit built and there's continuity within the group, you have more reps with each other, you're double teaming with the same player here and there, or over and over again, I should say. I think that the repetitions is what helps you get better. And then obviously the practice reps have definitely improved. So I think that that's a good thing for us.
DPJ, who will you have, who are your top candidates with DPJ gone to return?
Yeah, I mean, Elijah did it last week, so I thought he did a solid job. And then we have some young guys on the practice squad that, we'll continue to look at, but I thought Elijah did a solid job last week.
What ultimately led to that decision? I know you've been thinking about it, to put Elijah out there in that game.
Well, he did it in college, and I evaluated him when he was coming out of college. He's a natural catcher. He has good judgment, and he obviously has the ability to make you miss. So, I felt like we just needed, a little bit of a spark back there. Someone over.
Yeah, the couple of guys on the practice squad, I think they have the two new approaching Drake. They have some return history. Are those
Yeah.
two guys you're considering for those couple of spots?
Yeah, and then Jalen Darden also, did it for us against San Francisco. So those guys we're going to continue to get all those guys reps and making an evaluation, I guess you would say, or a decision at the end of the week. And it really plays off of other positions on the team, the health of our roster and things like that. So.
Is that one of the tough parts about being a special teams coordinator, Bubba? When injuries affect each unit, but they could really affect you, like indirectly. When, what I'm saying here, when a player is injured from
Sure.
another unit, then you have to make an adjustment.
Yeah, so like if we sustain an injury to, any position group and that guy plays offense or defense, right? The next guy up is really the guy that I've been using, so then we now need to find someone else to be able to play in those roles. So, yeah, at times it can be challenging, but like that's the name of the game. That's the job description. So, got to figure it out, find a way. You do your best to use your personnel as best you can to match up against the opponent and give your guys the best chance to make plays. So, you always have to be able to adapt, especially in game. You sustain injuries within a game. We had some guys get nicked up in this past game, and we had some moving parts that we had to address, and we were able to get those adjusted.
Really
What's your
here.
kick return average do you want? Sorry, Dan.
Oh, that's good.
Honestly, like the average doesn't matter to me. It's more about the drive start. Especially in game. Over the course of a season, everybody ends up having a very similar drive start. It's small in regards to like, is it 25.1, 25.2? Like the average is always, because of touchbacks, it always just comes back to that number. But ideally, you'd like to have the drive start rather than the average, because not a lot of people are bringing the ball out from deep in the end zone. So if you have a 25-yard return, you bring it out from 5 deep, the ball's at the 20. So.
What's the drive start? 27, 28?
Yeah, I mean, I would say, like, each time we return the ball, the goal is to get it past the 25. So, I think we have been super close on a number of returns this year, and even in the Seattle game, if we make a block, we're probably out to the 50. So we're damn close.
You've probably worked with Pierre as much as anybody in this building. Have you ever seen him make some tackles for you? What is it about him that you he was so explosive when we saw him play offense on Sunday.
Yeah, so he was drafted to the Patriots. When in Indy, we liked him a lot. He can run. For me, like, that's one of the traits you obviously covet as a special teams coordinator is the ability to run, like speed. Speed is great, and position flexibility. He can do a lot of different things. He can play a lot of different positions. He even played some interior punt in New England in the preseason. He's played gunner for us. Obviously can handle the ball as a kick returner, plays on our kickoff coverage units at times. So, you know, he's got great ability to do a lot of different things for us. So, you know, he's been a great addition to the roster. It was a great move we made at the end of camp by AB.
Did you notice Seattle's field goal team heads up after what happened in Indy?
Say that again.
Seattle's field goal team, everybody's eyes up after what happened in Indy. Did you notice that?
It's probably, you know, I mean, the awareness will be there, you know, the rest of the way. So
So that's a one-doner probably.
we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
In terms of scouting Arizona, Joey Blount, a couple weeks in a row, has made a big play, forcing a fumble and recovering it for them. When you look at his specific skill set, the way he's impacted plays, what stands out to you about him?
Yeah, he runs pretty well. He's impacted those plays really from the gunner position. He punches at the ball. Emphasis on securing the ball, especially on that unit with our returners. We're always number one priority is get the ball back to the offense. So catch it, secure it, make good decisions, get the ball back to the offense. So we'll have, obviously we're always preaching ball security, you know, to our entire team, offense, defense, and special teams.
The Cardinals had that onside kick last week. I'm just curious, when you coach that, do you tell your guys to try to catch it before it bounces? Because obviously, once it, you know, that kick bounces,
Yeah.
it's crazy stuff. Like, is that one of the coaching points?
Yeah, so there's a number of different ways that you can coach that unit up. There's a number of different schemes as far as the recovery aspect of it goes. Some teams will play one recovery player to where they think the ball's going, which gives you a little bit more security inside. Now you're light opposite of that recovery player. Some teams will play two recovery players. Now you're lighter in some areas inside. So, yeah. So there's rules based on the types of kicks you're getting that we're trying to educate our guys every week on. Okay, if we get this kick, this is how we're treating it. If we get this kick, this is how we want to handle it. And that's obviously with the kick, with the recovery, and then obviously with the blocking portion of it as well. So.
That punt that you guys had from the 40, early in the fourth quarter, kicking from the Seattle 40.
Yeah.
Like, what's the goal there for Corey? Obviously, I know you want to avoid the touchback. So,
Yeah.
fair catch at the 11, is that what you're looking for?
I think anything 10 inside the 10, like right at the 10, I'm content with that. Don't want to be. You obviously want to be aggressive in that situation to get the ball in like to the 10 at least. But then there's that. You don't want to be too aggressive and get too much on it. That's not an easy ball to hit. I thought that he played it pretty well. Honestly, I thought he did. I thought he played it pretty well.
Do you want your guys to, I mean, sometimes you see the ball hit on the 4 or whatever, and they're waiting for it to bounce at the 1, then it goes in the end zone.
Yeah.
So do you want your guys to make sure that?
No, I would never want my guy to let the ball hit at the 4. You don't want to be how we coach our players is you don't want to be at the mercy of the bounce in a plus 50 situation. So ideally, if you're the gunner and the ball's about to hit, I would say unless you're truly in position with your butt, you know, parallel and you're facing the opposite end zone, you don't want to let that thing hit inside the 8-yard line. If you can make a play on the ball at the 8, then we'd like to catch it in the air if we can. But yeah, we don't want to be at the mercy of the bounce. We want to be able to field the ball in the air if we can. I would say, like, inside the 10, you just don't know which way the ball is going to bounce, even if you're in position, you know. So, good. Thanks, guys. Yep.
Alex, we're all trying to assess whether we thought Deshaun threw with better
What'd you
velocity
guys think?
yesterday.
What'd you think?
I thought a little bit.
Okay. I thought a little bit better too. Yeah, he looked better. He progressing. Yep. Always. Always. You know, and it's, he does look better than he looked last time he threw in a practice, so that's positive.
Do you think he looks better than Friday before the Indy game?
Feels like it, it's just naked eye, but yeah, I think he's feeling better.
After what you guys went through with Indy, what are you looking for specifically out of him to make the final decision that we feel comfortable that we can start?
That's probably a question more for Kev, but I think for a quarterback, you just want to be able to make all the throws. If there's anything that you still can't do, then, but as long as you feel confident that you can make the throws down the field, short, accurately, that's where we want to be.
Who's your new starting receiver?
Who is our new starting receiver? We're going to play by committee out there. We'll see who lines up out there first, but big shoes to fill. I mean, just hats off to Donovan. Sorry to see him leave, obviously, as a player and a person, but excited for his opportunity. We'll have to have a couple guys fill those shoes. But
Is this an opportunity for Tillman to see?
yeah, I think he's one of the guys that definitely will be in the mix there. He'll find his way. It'll get him more involved than he has been in the past. Marquise will be in there. We'll roll guys through that spot.
You haven't seen Tillman since training camp. What have you seen in these practices? Has he improved in any area, or?
Absolutely. He's a guy that we were high on coming out of camp, made a lot of plays in training camp for us, made plays in the preseason, and then just starting to ease him back into it the last couple of weeks. And now this is going to accelerate that maturation for him. But big body, big target, brings a lot in the run game as far as a force blocker, and then can make plays, contested plays, high point the ball, the things that he does well. So he'll definitely be more involved.
So Alex, after we had to leave yesterday, did Sean throw those balls downfield to your satisfaction? And
yes, he definitely. Yeah, we pushed some balls down the field for sure.
So what do you expect this to be another situation like the Baltimore game, where he goes out there before the game and then you decide if he can play?
I don't know if it'll come down to that long, but we'll see. We're taking it day by day right now. Yesterday he put a good practice together. We'll see how it goes today, how he feels today, and we'll do the same with Friday and all the way up to Sunday. But feel better about where he is after yesterday's work.
When he gets challenging, this is week 6 of this, game 5 of week 6 of dealing with his injuries. So just how challenging has this been going through weeks where you're not sure who your starting quarterback is, and you're trying to get this offense?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we'd love to have him out there. We'd love to keep him healthy the whole time and have him out there every game. But that's the reality of the NFL. It's not just that position. Obviously, it's it's heightened when it's the starting quarterback. But we go through that at every other position all the time. We're always plugging guys in, next man up mentality, and that's across the board. Just it gets heightened when it's the QB.
How much does the fact that you guys have the Baltimore game and the Steelers game right after this one factor into your decision to play or not play Deshaun?
Yeah, I don't even know if that plays a role in it right now. We just we'll put a healthy Deshaun out when he's healthy and ready to go. Couldn't tell you when that'll be.
You're looking at the Cardinals. They seem to have a lot of different weapons that are productive. They are among the league's best in sacks, tackles for loss. When you're playing against a team that seems to have bullets flying from lots of different areas, does that make it more difficult for you to game plan?
Yeah, definitely. They're multiple in what they do. Multiple personnel groupings, multiple coverages, structures. Their pressure package is good. So, yeah, it's definitely a week of preparation for us. They present you some different looks that you're not used to seeing. So, like every other week, you just got to dump out the bucket of stuff you learned the week before and refocus on this defense. And they do present you some challenges. But, I feel good after coming out of Seattle. Our communication was superb. Our operation was great. Had one false start in a bad spot. So I feel like we're focused in right now. We're doing a great job of preparation during the week, and we'll be ready on Sunday.
We know how competitive Deshaun is and how he kind of he might have pushed himself a little bit to get back to Indy. What is your guys' strategy with him and knowing his personality, knowing he wants to be out there, to kind of hone him back in and say, hey, we got to take this step by step? How do you kind of do that with such a competitive person?
It's tough. I mean, it's tough. He doesn't want to hear that, for sure. But I think collectively, between AB and Kevin, they'll make a right decision with his input, obviously. But, we'll see how this week goes. Every day's a different day, and everything's been moving in the right direction this week. So.
Next man up, do you expect to have Juwan Jones?
He's dealing with something now, but I think he feels okay right at this point. We'll see again day to day with him, but I think he should have a chance.
With PJ, how do you, keep the aggressiveness and cut down on the interception?
It's such a fine line. It really is. The interception at the end there, that's a freak deal. Hits off a helmet, goes 50 feet in the air. The one we had earlier was kind of a combination of three different guys. We were a little late on a snap. We got edged in protection, had to move him off the spot. Dave kind of slowed down a hair. The ball flew a little bit, so that's a tough one. I'd like to get that back. But whatever it is, we talked about it in our team meeting on Wednesday when the guys came back, just the importance of the ball. We're terrible at it right now. I've been on teams where all you do is talk about ball security and all you do is turn it over. I've been on teams you never talk about it once, never do a drill, and you never turn it over. It's just that fine line. We just have to be hyper-focused, and when we're in traffic, whether it be in the pocket or with the ball in our hand down the field as a runner, we have to make sure we're doing everything we can with our fundamentals and our techniques to take care of the ball. Decision-making for the quarterback's a huge part of that as well. It's definitely something we've addressed. I feel like if we take the turnovers out of the games we've lost, we're going to at least be in a position to have a chance to win them. So we got to find a way to take care of the ball at all costs.
With David Njoku, seems like he's been more involved in the passing game lately. Was that like you guys make a concerted effort to do that? And why has he been able to have that?
Yeah, well, Dave's one of those guys where you want the ball in his hands. He's such a violent runner with his speed and his size. Any way we could find the ways to get him the ball and let him take off is something, obviously we're going to highlight our marquee players, and Dave would be one of those.
You talked about on that interception that he slowed down a little bit. PJ said that after the game. Is that the right decision to slow down because the guy's sitting there, or does he just have to keep running through?
Yeah, that's a keep running route for him. We stay on the move on that route. Again, it was a culmination of a couple different factors on that play, but there's points there in the red zone that we would like to have had, So we're just shooting ourselves in the foot. We're playing good offensive football. I do feel that. I do feel like the guys were productive in the run game last week. We did a great job with our operation. We had a lot of different motions and shifts in a crowded environment, noisy. So I'm really proud of the way those guys prepared. I think we're close. I think we just need a game with a clean slate on the turnover side, and we'll feel better.
When it comes to that, you guys had such a successful screen game. I mean, how much do you guys work that? It sounds like you guys work it a ton. Is it more than other places you've been?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think Coach Callahan's technique and the way he teaches it, we practice it, every day in a certain segment of practice. So it's something that we've been good at here in our 4 years together, and it's a strength of ours. The touchdown to Dave really was a design off of our screen game. So we showed screen to both sides to try to pull the linebackers, and it's an old play. It's been around forever, but when you screen well, you get those kind of responses. Then you can counter back with the kind of change up off of your screen game. So, yeah, we do put time in it. We pride ourselves in being a great screen team, and it was very productive in Seattle. So.
I know people always say, like, it takes all 11 on every play, but is that truly one of those plays where it really takes all 11
Absolutely.
guys?
It's taught that way. Since day one since we've been here, we've emphasized screens, and we practice screens, and we're pretty good at them. And then what else does it do? It slows down the pass rush. Is this a screen? I don't know. It could be. So now you're rushing Dave as a blocker, and you're not sure if he's going to screen you or block you. So it definitely helps. It all comes together in the scheme of things.
You got 155 yards out of your three running backs Sunday in Seattle. Just how do you feel that rotation is going with those three? I know Kareem was a little frustrated. He didn't get any touches
Sure.
there in that fourth quarter. But just where are you at with this run game?
Really, it's by committee right now. Everybody's going to get their touches. I see all those guys as 1A, 1B. They could all come in and be productive, which they've shown. That was our plan last week going in, with Jerome coming off of the injury, not sure he was going to make it, so we just wanted to put him in on third downs early, see how he felt, and then know that we could get him the ball in the fourth quarter with fresh legs. So that's kind of how that thing unfolded, but really impressed with all the guys. Kareem right now is running extremely hard. He had some great runs that weren't there and got 3 yards. And stuff that we had free rushers. So really proud of the way he's running with the physicality. Pierre has the speed and the vision. He can get on the edge. Did some good things in the wide zone game as far as the perimeter game as well. And then Jerome's that's the sweet feet where he can cut on a dime and make the move. So really, losing Nick was big. It took a lot of feet to fill those shoes. his shoes. So we're just going to keep rolling with the guys, and really happy with all of them right now.
Some bad luck on that third 3 call, the third 3 interception. How did you feel about that call? Like, what was the discussion there during that timeout? And then is there anything PJ could have done differently, obviously, to not throw it off his helmet?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, they brought the pressure. They brought it in the B gap to the throw side, you know, and he elevated up and got it. It's a day one installation play. You know, oftentimes you just think of players not of plays in those situations and trying to get, you know, Amari the ball. In that situation on a day one installation, double slant with a drag slant to the other side. It's day one install for a million offenses. It was just a core play. Just unfortunate it happened, but I was totally good with the play call. PJ was on board. Wouldn't second guess that. You know, if that's a completion or an incompletion, it's a different ballgame.
MVP, how about Nick Harris's skill set? And what you must trust about his athleticism to put him out there as a fullback in situations that may not necessarily be screaming, hey, we're going to run the football here.
Yeah, very talented, very, very athletic. You know, very fleet of foot, get around blocks. He can do a lot of things. Like his ability to lead coming out of the backfield. Can help us in protection as well in certain schemes. But he's a guy that can do it all. Really can't wait to see him catch a pass soon. You know, but he has a really unique skill set, and we're trying to find more ways to use him. It'd be a good one, right? Double screen away, then back to Nick late. I like that. We'll put that in. All right, guys, thank you.